Hello, everyone. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. Yep, this is the platform where we'll come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. So we know already the exciting summer that lies ahead, not only for our girls, but also for the boys as well. But one thing that we haven't touched in great detail in recent times is how we have done in youth competitions. So this summer, we know that there are some multi-sport events that will be taking place. We know that there will be the Central American and Caribbean Games. We know that there's going to be the Commonwealth Youth Olympics in Trinidad and Tobago. And later this calendar year, we'll also have the Pan American Games as well. So in this video in particular, what we're going to do, we're going to look at Jamaica's record at the CAC Games. How well have Jamaica done? How well have Jamaican been able to perform at the CAC Games? Well, let's look at it, shall we? Let's go right into the matter and being able to break this down in particular. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say in relation to this matter in particular, but hopefully this is something that you guys can be able to rest assured, be able to understand it to a great degree and depth, because it's important for us to be able to, look at the history, where we're coming from, how well have we done, you know what I'm saying? So that is exactly what we're going to do right now in relation to football at the CAC Games. So are you guys ready? Well, let's get started, shall we? This is something that we're going to do right now. So what we're going to do right now is be able to bring up on your screen to show you the graphics so that I can be able to pinpoint to Jamaica's record at the CAC Games itself. All right. So I'm a gentleman, so ladies first. The first time that football was played for women at the CAC Games was in 2010. That's right, 2010 was the first time that we had football at the CAC Games for women. The first time. So we've had 2010, 2014, and also 2018 as well. 2010, we did not have Jamaica within the tournament itself. But let's move on to 2014. And in 2014, we had football at the CAC Games. We are going to look at the women's side of things, as we made mention first, but we didn't have the women in 2014, but we did have the women for the first time at the CAC Games in 2018. And what happened? Well, Jamaica recorded a victory in this tournament. Yep, that is right. Jamaica recorded a victory at the CAC Games, their first ever victory after defeating Colombia, the host nation, by 2-1. I believe this would have been Yasmin Jameson's first cap for the Reggae Girls. Goals came from Chinyela Asha and Jodie Brown. Bunny Shaw also scored 2 goals within the tournament as well, as Jamaica picked up 3 points within the tournament. So isn't that fantastic? That was Jamaica's first ever victory at the CAC Games, and it came against the host nation. Yep, that's right. It came against the host nation. So that in itself, fantastic. And in relation to the women's group for the tournament, right? Let's talk about the women's tournament for Jamaica. What is Jamaica's group going to be like? Well, Jamaica's group has Colombia, El Salvador, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. That's right. Jamaica's group, Colombia, the host nation, El Salvador, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. The top 2 teams from this group will advance to the semifinals of the competition. All right. The tournament is set to run from June 24 to July 6. So when you put that into perspective, the Reggae Girls will have the CAC Games, the World Cup, the Olympic qualifiers, the Pan American Games, the CONCACAF W Gold Cup next year. Quite a busy calendar, isn't it? Very much so when you bear all of those things into consideration. So it is going to be quite a year for women's football, and we're excited to see it. In relation to men's football at the CAC Games, well, it started back in 1930. And if you look at the graphic to your left, you'll see a bit of a breakdown as to the age bracket for these sorts of tournaments. So from 1930 to 1946, it was senior teams. 1950 to 86 was amateur, and 1990 it was under 23, but from 1993 onwards, it's been under 20. So CAC Games for men has been an under-20 tournament, and Jamaica has played football at the CAC Games from 1930. Yes, that is right. Jamaica's first goal at the CAC Games in 1930. Clifton Cawley. Yes, that's right. Clifton Cawley scored Jamaica's first goal at the CAC Games. Can you believe that? Well, that's a trivia question someday, as he was Jamaica's first ever scorer at the CAC Games. Clifton Cawley scoring for Jamaica against Cuba, who eventually went on to win the gold medal in this tournament in particular. Jamaica also scored 4 goals in a game against Honduras. Yep, that is right. 4 different scorers as well. You had Oswald Vernon getting on the score sheet, Arthur Mackenzie. You also had Altamont Sasso on the score sheet, and George Crunkley on the score sheet as well for the Jamaican team. This was 1930 as Jamaica finished 5th in the tournament. And like I said, 5 different scorers for the Jamaicans in that tournament in 1930 in Havana. In 1935, we'll go to El Salvador. But in this edition of the tournament, Jamaica was not there. In 1938, football at the CAC Games was in Panama, but Jamaica were not there. We had the war, specifically the Second War, and in 1946, we had the CAC Games again, but Jamaica wasn't in that tournament. In 1950, Curacao got the gold medal. Curacao, the gold medal. What was then known as the Netherlands Antilles. We scoot over to 1954, but Jamaica was not at that tournament. Same for 59. In 1962, the CAC Games were hosted in Jamaica. That's right, Jamaica hosting a major sporting event. Jamaica has hosted the Commonwealth Games. Jamaica has hosted the CAC Games. Jamaica has hosted a Netball World Cup. Jamaica has hosted a World Junior Championships in track and field. So this was huge. And to give you a bit of context into things so that you guys are fully aware, you know, the National Stadium itself, do you know that this was the reason why the stadium was built? The National Stadium was built for the 1966 Commonwealth Games. But guess what? It was ready for the CAC Games in 1962. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic, isn't it? And here we are. Here we are, a couple of decades on. This was Jamaica's second appearance in football at the CAC Games. How did it pan out? Well, Jamaica got the copper. That's right, the copper medal. Jamaica's first ever victory in football at the CAC Games, a 6-1 victory over Puerto Rico. Yep, that is right. And look at the scorers, the likes of Henry Largy, the likes of Peter Chavanez, Peter Lewin, Kenneth East, and Sid Bartlett, the legend himself, Sid Bartlett, on the score sheet in Jamaica's first ever victory at the CAC Games. Impressive. Mightily, mightily impressive. Jamaica ended their campaign with another 6-1 victory against Cuba. Jamaica finished 4th. 1966 CAC Games were in Puerto Rico. Jamaica ended 5th, and their victory of the tournament came against Puerto Rico, the host nation. In 1970, the games were in Panama, but Jamaica were not in that tournament itself. In 1974, it was in the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo, but Jamaica weren't there. In 1978, it was in Colombia, the city of Medellin. Medellin is a vibrant, pulsating city in Colombia. Truly a behemoth of cities. 1982, it was in Cuba. 1986, the games itself took place in the Dominican Republic. 1990, Toluca, Mexico. 1993, history was made. You want to know that piece of history? Well, history again. Jamaica Jamaica advanced to the third and fourth place playoff, took on Cuba, and finished fourth in the tournament. We go to 1998, and Jamaica were there again. Beat Colombia, beat Guatemala to top the group. But in the quarterfinals, that was their last laugh there. In 2002, it was in El Salvador. Despite a Honduras triumph, the goal of the tournament from Woolry Wolf against Mexico in the second half. You guys had to see it. It was a sensational strike from Woolry Wolf, and the celebration at the end of it, it was special. It was special. A 1-1 draw against Mexico. In 2006, Jamaica defeated Haiti by 2-1. And then Jamaica got to the quarterfinals, took on Colombia, the host nation, in the quarterfinals. 2010, well, nada. 2014, the tournament took place in Veracruz, Mexico. Jamaica took on El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico. And in 2018, Jamaica was there, but on the women's side of things. And here we are now in 2023 with an opportunity to create history. In the Pan Am Games, silver in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And now here we are, Colombia, Costa Rica, Honduras, Guatemala. This is where we stand right now. A chance, an opportunity for Jamaica to stand on the podium, an opportunity for Jamaica to stand firmly, sharply on that podium even more. An opportunity, a grand opportunity. Bronze in 93, and now it's time for more. So, Reggae Boys viewers, Peter Chavanez in 1962, the only Jamaican to score a hat-trick at the CAC Games. Let's create some more memories in El Salvador this summer. Let me know your thoughts. Leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.